Hey everyone, so today we're talking about a revolution that is happening in plain sight. Generative AI is absolutely exploding in the world of filmmaking, and honestly, it's changing just about everything. Let's get into it.
So here's the big, flashy question everyone loves to ask. Could an AI actually direct the next billion-dollar blockbuster? Could we see a name like Sora or Runway in the director's chair? Well, the short answer is probably not just yet. But what's happening right now, just under the surface, is way more interesting.
Right, so let's set the stage. While AI isn't calling all the shots on set, it's quickly going from just another tool in the toolbox to a real creative partner. It's really starting to change the entire DNA of the film industry.
I mean, think about it for a second. Stuff that used to take huge teams of artists weeks to do, like creating insane visual effects, storyboarding an entire film, or even cutting together rough edits. That can all now be done in like a fraction of the time. AI isn't just making things faster anymore. It's completely rewriting the rulebook for how you make a movie.
And this, right here, is the central problem we're looking at today. The film industry is basically in an AI gold rush, grabbing every new tool they can. But film schools, well, they're having a really hard time keeping up. And that's creating this huge skills gap between what the industry desperately needs and what new graduates actually know how to do.
Okay, so to really understand why this is such a huge challenge, we first need to dig into the single biggest technical hurdle that filmmakers using AI are facing right now. And it's a problem that strikes at the very heart of storytelling itself.
It's this idea of visual consistency. Put simply, it's the challenge of making sure your main character's face doesn't, slightly change shape between frames, or that a coffee cup on a table doesn't decide to become a vase in the next shot. For any story to work, the world you're watching has to feel real and stable, and right now, that's something AI is not great at. This really breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got traditional filmmaking, where the director has absolute control. But on the other side, you've got the wild west of AI. An actor's face might flicker. A prop can just vanish. A character's arm might bend in a way it really shouldn't. It's a massive roadblock if you're trying to tell a believable story.
Okay, so you're probably thinking if the tech has this giant glaring flaw, how in the world is anyone making films with it? Well, this is where human creativity comes roaring back into the picture. Instead of just waiting for the technology to be perfect, filmmakers are coming up with these brilliant workarounds to manage and sometimes even exploit these limitations.
And when you look at some of the best AI short films that have been coming out lately, you start to see three clear strategies emerge for how to wrangle this incredibly powerful but kinda unpredictable new technology.
The three strategies are pretty simple. You can bypass the problem, you can embrace the flaw, or you can try to fix the output. Let's take a look at a real-world example for each one, because this is where it gets really cool. First up, let's talk about bypassing the problem. Take the film Voices. It's this really powerful short about some heavy social issues. The filmmakers knew that AI couldn't handle a long, continuous scene with one character. So what did they do? They structured the entire film like a documentary, using short, separate interview clips. It was such a smart way to use the AI's strengths without ever running into its biggest weakness.
The second strategy is maybe my favorite. Just embrace the flaw. A horror short called One More Pumpkin takes all those weird visual glitches, the flickering faces, the backgrounds that kind of melt and shift, and it turns them into a feature. That instability becomes the film's creepy, unsettling vibe. It's a perfect example of turning a technical bug into a powerful artistic choice.
And finally, we have the fix-it strategy. The movie Airhead basically treats the AI not as a final director, but as a generator of raw footage. It's like raw clay. The filmmakers cleverly use a symbolic red balloon to give a sense of visual consistency through the film, and then they take all that AI footage into a traditional editing suite where human artists shape it, polish it, and turn it into a final story. It's a true human-AI collaboration.
So what all these strategies are telling us is that there's a massive shift happening. The skills that made someone a great filmmaker just 5 years ago are not necessarily the same skills they're going to need tomorrow.
See, it's not enough anymore to just know how to point a camera or use editing software. The really crucial skills are becoming more conceptual, more strategic. It's about being able to look at a chaotic mess of AI-generated clips and see the potential story inside. It's about designing a film around the text limits. Can you turn a weird glitch into a moment of genius? That's the new skills.
Which brings us right back to that skills gap we started with. If the job of a filmmaker is changing this much, this fast, well then the way we teach filmmaking has got to change too. And this is the million-dollar question for educators right now.
The answer isn't just tacking on a new class called Intro to AI. It's about fundamentally rethinking the entire curriculum based on how the industry is actually working now.
Researchers have actually started to map this whole process out. Now, this model might look a little complicated, but it basically shows the chain reaction, the domino effect, from a single filmmaker starting to use an AI tool all the way to creating the need for a brand new film school program. Let me walk you through it.
Okay, so it all starts with building actual skill. The model shows that when filmmakers believe these AI tools are genuinely useful, and this is key, when they have the right support and resources to learn them properly, they start to build real, meaningful competence.
And what happens when that skill level goes up? Well, the research points to two massive benefits: a huge boost in creativity and a major leap in productivity. When people are good with these tools, they can experiment more, they can execute ideas way faster, and they end up making better, more innovative films in less time.
And this is the final, crucial link in the chain. When the whole industry starts seeing this massive productivity surge, it sends a powerful signal to the education system. It basically sets a new standard. And that creates this urgent, undeniable demand for schools to redesign their programs, to produce graduates who are actually ready for this new world.
So we're left with this final question to think about. As AI continues to blur the lines between writer, cinematographer, editor, and visual effects artist, what's really more important for the filmmaker of the future, a camera or a keyboard? The future of film might depend less on what you can capture through a lens and a lot more on what you can conjure with a prompt.